beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Nigeria is on the heat. APC, they are confused because of the comment of Mr. Peter Obi that says, Nigeria is not growing in the right direction. My beautiful people, APC, they are running scatter and man. Anyway, my beautiful people, today I present to you Mr. Poker. Is it Poker? MORKA, sorry. I present to you Mr. MORKA. Is still blasting Peter Obi. My last video that I did, it was like, oh my God. Now they have called him again for interview in Arise News. Oh, this man is just, he don't even know. He's calling Mr. Peter Obi a prophet of doom. Anyway, my beautiful people, before you people will say it's Joyce that say it, please let's listen to from the horse's mouth. Let's listen to him direct what he has to say concerning this statement Peter Obi made. Yes, my people, and we will come back.
From 34% to 15%. Obi also called on President Tinubu to reduce his foreign trips, which, according to him, have yielded little or nothing, while asking him to also visit the 36 states of the Federation to actually see how the level of suffering that Nigerians currently are facing. He lamented how difficult it is to be in opposition in Nigeria, saying that he's ready to give up everything, including his life, to effect positive change, even as he advised President Tinubu to exhibit greater commitment to fighting corruption. Obi, the Labour Party's leader, actually sparked controversy with the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, accusing Obi of painting a wrong picture about President Tinubu's achievements in the last 18 months and gradually assuming the status of being the #1 prophet of doom, quote, in the country. Well, to help us take a look at Obi's statement, we have joining us in the studio, our Lagos studio, the spokesman of the All Progressives Congress, Felix MORKA, and thank you so much for joining us right here in the new year, Felix. So, Happy New Year to you. Let's start from there.
Sambo. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
All right. So, well, the presidency itself hasn't reacted to Obi's statement, but the governing party, which you are the spokesperson of, has hit back at Obi. Well, you're calling the Labour Party leader as a prophet of doom. What exactly did he say that is not right in his statement?
A whole lot of what Mr. Obi discussed in his press conference was just wrong. Was wrong, totally misled, and almost intentionally misleading, trying to get Nigerians to believe what is not. Now, I am sure that even those who are listening to Mr. Obi, the Nigerians who listen to him, would disagree substantially with his assessment of the state of address of the country. Now, whatever sector you may wish to look at, the country is rebounding in significant measure. There's no question about that. Yes, things were rough, at the beginning, but the roughness didn't start with this administration. As a matter of fact, the reform that Mr. B was, speaking to, were, initiated to correct and radically reposition Nigeria for prosperity. Because, when this government came in, things were just not right. But the president took very hard look at the state of affairs and decided to, enunciate very bold policies to radically transform our economic life. Now, 18 months later, we are seeing the results of that. So right now, I think the conversation shouldn't be about whether or not those decisions were right or wrong. We should be looking at what is now the obvious, emerging impact, outcomes of these policies. And they are pointing in the positive direction. So when Mr. B says that everything is worse today than it was yesterday, I disagree, and I think many Nigerians will disagree with Mr. B, because that's not an accurate assessment.
Well, he actually says that most of the borrowings by the Tinubu-led administration are not tied to specific projects and investments, and that we seem to be very high on borrowing but very low in terms of specifics when it comes to projects. And he says that the president seems to be traveling more abroad, and that he should stay more at home, spend much part of 2025 to not only stay at home, but to travel around the 36 states by road. And then, of course, use public-owned medical centers. I mean, shouldn't be some of the standards that the APC should be setting if indeed things are getting better, based on what you said?
Samuel, the president was elected to govern. And governing includes actually interacting with other countries of the world. Especially this president, who has made it a core objective to mobilize investments into Nigeria. You don't simply do that by sitting in Aso Rock and hoping that the world will come to you. This is, we live in an age where competition for resources, for global resources, is very fierce. Every country of the world, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, are looking for the same investment that Nigeria is looking for. So you don't expect the president, who has launched an ambitious project of economic transformation, to sit put in Aso Rock so that Mr. B can be happy, hoping that he comes out so you can take a look at him, while others are busy shuttling around trying to give reason to investors and other countries to make Nigeria an investment destination. Now, this president, more than any president in the history of our country, has labored and has actually garnered commitments, some of which are beginning now to trickle in, for massive investment that will help transform all of the sectors of national life. So Mr. B can sit and simply just localize his thinking, and because he's not the president, he can prescribe like a backseat driver how best to drive a vehicle, but he's not the president. And this president has the mandate to govern. And Mr. B is not going to dictate to him how he governs. And I think that Nigerians already, even your own This Day newspaper, named Mr. President as the man of the year. If he was simply sitting in one place and doing nothing, I doubt that you would find him worthy of such a prestigious award. You see, look, all I'm saying is that we can quibble with details and quibble with these little things. But Sambo, we must look at the big picture and see where this president is headed. Now, look at what is going on. Look around you. Is it the refineries? Is it agriculture? Farmers have never had it so good, getting a fair value for their labor. In my district of Delta, farmers, those who know me, they come to me to say, look, you must thank Mr. President for us, because, my yam farm is producing for me yield and income that far exceeds what I have gotten in years combined before now. So while the people who listen to Mr. B are screaming, the real Nigerians who are in the productive sectors, who are actually producing and selling their products or services, are blissing out right now. So I think that we must take that in context and not fall into this extreme pessimism that Mr. B is become a champion of.
And you've actually hit back with a volley of attacks. I mean, calling Obi a prophet of doom. Some of you who have said that he's always embarking in voodoo economics that are not in line with current realities. I mean, don't you think? I mean, that's a slingshot that's gone beyond normal politicking.
No. He is the one that's throwing that. Mr. B is shooting from the hip. He's not looking. He's not taking an aim. He just, you know, I mean, shoots widely like, you know, what we used to see in movies back in the day, in the Wild Wild West. He is not being rational. He's absolutely irrational in his thinking and in his public commentary for a man who was governor for 8 years, who left nothing to remember in Anambra State by way of a legacy or transformation. But all of a sudden, you know, he served as governor 8 years. He didn't have the wisdom or the smarts to change Anambra State, to make Anambra the beacon, you know, that example of, you know, governance in the country. But then, you know, he runs for president, you know, in 2023. And then now, he didn't win. He's sulking, rather than actually get a perspective and, you know, figure out what he did to lose so he can do better in the future. He would think that he can bring down the government by simply, you know, being maliciously deceptive. That is wrong. You know, I'm not somebody to, you know, to go on that offensive in that manner. But Mr. Obi has crossed the line so many times. And I think that at this point, you know, he has coming to him whatever he gets, you know, he needs to manage it.
And Mr. MORKA, I just want to read some things that Obi said, I mean, directly quoting him, because he said he felt very terrible after visiting IDP camps, and he saw that a lot of Nigerians are still displaced and living like refugees and exiles in their own country. He's asking President Tinubu to visit various IDP camps and assure these Nigerians that they will soon return to their communities and that you are working hard to restore peace and normalcy to the country. Nigeria is not a war-torn nation. The proliferation of IDP camps is a troubling sign. I mean, if you were the person who visited an IDP camp and you saw the number of Nigerians still out there who couldn't celebrate Christmas and New Year in their homes, wouldn't you feel concerned?
Mr. Sambo, you know, don't forget my background. I'm, you know, a civil rights lawyer. My entire professional career has been dedicated to working with the poorest of the poor. You know, all of the slums in Nigeria, I have something to do with them and their, you know, helping them to negotiate power with government. So, you know, I'm all too familiar with, you know, the nature and the impact of extreme poverty. That's been the core of my career, helping to, you know, I mean, do things right and get better deal for people who are in that category, unfortunately. See, anywhere in the world, when you visit IDP camps, it is depressing. It's not funny. There's nothing romantic about IDP camps, because when you are displaced by whatever reason, whether by war or by internal, you know, strife or by even natural disasters, you know, people, you know, live less than they do ordinarily in the normal course of things. So, you know, yes, I mean, I can hear Mr. B when he says, oh, I went there and I was depressed and I was sad. Yes, you know, it is sad to visit them because they live, you know, a life that, you know, can be better, that is not better because of the circumstances they find themselves. But Mr. President is the president of everyone in Nigeria. He's the president of everybody, the rich, the poor, the affluent, the people in the IDP camps. He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Mr. President is somebody who is, you know, known. I don't need to make that point. He is universally acclaimed to be a man who is deeply compassionate, whose, you know, level of empathy is beyond Mr. B even. I can assure you.
But we haven't seen him. We haven't seen, Mr. MORKA, we haven't seen President Tinubu visiting an IDP camp or trying to see how the government can work more using governmental institutions. I mean, apart from when Betta Edu was still there, with the new minister that we have right now, we haven't seen that deliberate effort to actually reach out to these Nigerians who are not in these IDP camps because of their own wish, but because of the failure of governmental authorities to do the needful, including the military, so that these people can quickly get back to their homes.
Mr. Sambo, you know, I am not here to discuss the schedule of ministers and even the president as to when they will visit or, you know, the IDP camps. But what I'm saying is that this government is intentionally, you know, orchestrating policies and taking actions that ultimately will reset the reality for everyone, including those who, you know, unfortunately find themselves in IDP camps for whatever reason that they got there, whether it's because of flooding or because of, you know, I mean, terrorism or because of war, I mean, whatever it is that has, you know, got them there. This president has, a global perspective and is mobilizing resources and positioning assets to help, treat all of these, circumstances. The point I'm making is that whether the president himself has personally visited IDP camps, at this time, does that mean he won't do that? It doesn't mean that. And I'm not here to tell you the president is going to go there tomorrow, but I'm just saying that we can't always take today and think that the world ends today. The world doesn't end today. It may end today from the analysis that Mr. B is willing to make, but it doesn't end today because the president has the liberty to go anywhere and do things as he thinks. And he has ministers who work for him. He has other, levels of authority who are delivering government's, policies and programs to ensure that people everywhere, wherever they are, get, feel the impact of government. What I'm saying is that Mr. B's analysis is, presented to make it sound as though this president has done something colossal, in neglect of people who are in the IDP. And I'm saying that that's ridiculous because, he's been in office for just 18 months. And he's in office for, was elected to serve for 4 years. So Mr. B should take a cheap pill and allow this president to do what he himself couldn't do in Anambra State. Look at our refineries. I mean, things, where is it insecurity? Every sector you look, you see massive pointers of progress. And, I know that the media, again, it's understandable that sometimes we focus too much on the negatives. But I think that we need to, at this time, begin to move away from this focus on, just reporting the tragedies in our country. And look at the positive side. This is a new year for crying out loud. Let us begin to take stock of the good things that are happening while still keeping, a focus on what is wrong and what needs to be done. Well, the president is never, he's not saying to anybody, stop telling me about what needs to be done. Yes, we need to do that, but we need to also take stock so that we can begin to see what we're doing right and then replicate that. And then what we're not doing right to begin to, see how we can fix it. That is what governance, does everywhere in the world, not just in our country, but everywhere in the world.
Well, Mr. MORKA, you would have seen clearly that it's not just the media alone. I mean, former leaders like former President Olusegun Obasanjo had hit back at the nnpcl, actually saying that some of the things that are being said, shouldn't we be reporting them? I mean, if a former president is doubting governmental institutions, government companies, and all of that on some of the things, I mean, shouldn't we report? While we are also reporting the good things that the nnpcl says is happening, I mean, shouldn't we also report the concerns of other people?
No, certainly, Sambo. Look, I'm a human rights champion. Listen, he who makes any decision, citizens who decide whether government is working or not working, must hear all the sides. This is not, my case is not that, the Obis and the Obasanjos who choose to focus more on the pessimistic side to advance, this, extreme pessimism. I'm not saying they shouldn't, do that. And I'm not suggesting that media should not report news that is unfavorable. They should. I mean, that is the liberty, the freedom, the almighty freedom of the media to report. But I'm saying that, they should also focus on the positive side. Now, for President Obasanjo, there's no Nigerian who is alive today, even dead or alive, who has had the kind of opportunity that President Obasanjo has had to impact this country. He was military head of state. He was civilian president for, straight 8 years. One of the things that Obasanjo tends to indulge in discussing are things that he had the opportunity to fix. He didn't fix them. He couldn't fix them. So when this, statesman comes along and casually simply indicts people and blame everybody for what's not working. Look, former President Obasanjo should be, looking at himself in the mirror to see, the oversize or the guilt he should feel for his failure to tackle some of these, fundamental threshold problems that he keeps talking about. NNPC is delivering the Port Harcourt, refinery. they have just announced that Warri is now, up and running, and forecasting that, in the near future, Kaduna will also come on stream. Listen, even when they say that, it doesn't mean that everything is, perfect with the refineries, but it shows very bold, committed effort to revamp our refineries and make them more productive. Now, I was just reading a report today that Bua refinery is also, nearing completion. Now, can you imagine what happens when all of these refineries, we have Dangote already running, where Port Harcourt and, Warri and Kaduna and Bua and other, smaller refineries are running in this country. We will be a massive exporter of, petroleum products. Now, already, our imports, but not just for petroleum, but for other items, has reduced. Our balance of payments for 3 consecutive quarters has, skyrocketed. The stock market is creating incredible wealth for those who are investing. Now, look, somebody will tell me, but we're not feeling it yet on our dining table. We will. You see, step by step, little steps wins the race. We will get there. Every Nigerian will feel the impact because, farmers are feeling the impact already. Those who are engaged in productive, creative activity are reaping the reward already. But with time, the workers who clearly appear to be the disadvantaged right now will ultimately do better because, that's economics. When, wealth is created, and more people are employed into the system, wages are paid, better wages are paid. Over time, this labor surplus we have that appears, that's making a lot of people feel like they're not feeling the impact, we begin to, slide down. That is economics. This president understands economics. This president is delivering, I think, the finest model of economics for our country. And the future, hasn't been, doesn't look any better.
Well, very optimistic, Felix MORKA there. As we try to coast home, let's talk about 2025 and the political climate in Nigeria. Well, the Labour Party leader, Peter Obi, says he's sad that the APC-led federal government is not making the atmosphere conducive for democratic discourse that will allow opposition to actually function to the expectations of democratic expectations. I want to quote what he said. He said, "It is difficult to be in opposition in the country. Extremely difficult because everything is against you. People don't even want to see you. They don't even want to talk to you. If I tell you what I face, what I go through, what my family goes through, you wouldn't even believe I should still be standing and going around this country." I know you were in opposition, Felix MORKA. President Tinubu to himself was in opposition. Peter Obi used to be a member of the former governing party in Nigeria. And what they are saying is that the kind of atmosphere that they allowed when they were the ruling party for opposition to thrive is not being replicated by the APC-led federal government. Aren't you worried that this may actually affect our democratic, statistics, expectation, and it may affect how your government is being viewed internationally?
No, I'm not worried, Sambo. I have no reason to worry. I mean, Mr. Obi is starting to sound like Tegwala. I don't know if you're familiar with this, funny cartoon character that, look, who is stopping Mr. Obi from, Mr. Obi has exercised the fullest of his constitutional freedom to speak, anything he literally wants to speak. Mr. Obi calls press conferences. He believes, he is this, person that has the authority to address Nigerians whenever, and he does so. And nobody has ever, stopped him from doing so. Look, but when he speaks, he should expect, a reaction. If he says things that are inaccurate or misleading, you don't expect the ruling party, because there's this effort to emotionally blackmail the, APC to say you are the ruling party, whatever they say, just, turn the other way. We're not turning the other way. We're a political party. We're in this to win elections and govern and do the best we can for Nigerians. Mr. Obi is not going to blackmail us into, into some kind of, withdrawal. We're not withdrawing from anything. If Mr. Obi, says things that are wrong, I am the national spokesman of the ruling party. I have a duty to, if I listen and if I feel like what he said deserves a reaction, I will react. And when I react, he shouldn't then label that as, an effort to chill his freedom to speak or to be opposition. Now, look, Mr. Obi and, quite frankly, a lot of the people in the opposition, they are beginning to sound like, bad workmen who blame the tools. I mean, look at the PDP. The PDP is simply imploding. And, every time that happens, they blame the APC. We are not responsible. I've never been at a meeting in my party where PDP and how to implode the PDP was discussed. I've never been there.
Well,
and I attended quite a significant number of meetings, in my party. So that's not the point.
You are actually driving a one-party state.
They need to get their own things,
Yeah, sorry to interject there. They say you are actually driving a one-party state in Nigeria so that there will be no opposition to President Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027.
Sambo, you are a veteran. You are a man with great knowledge. You know that's not true. I mean, you must ask this question because you're doing your job. But that's not true. How are we constraining the PDP or the Labour Party from blossoming? We're not. They talked about merger. Just recently, I'm hearing Kwankwaso saying, we're not in any merger with anybody. Mr. B himself has said he has not signed any merger deal with anybody. Look, what has that got to do with APC? You see, these guys, we are busy governing. We are busy trying to figure out how we make our party better. Our national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has led the party to creating, for example, a democratic institute, an institute that will help the party to, profile and sharpen its understanding of democracy and how best to deliver democracy. While we are busy building institutions, making our party stronger, winning elections, because, look at what happened in Edo State. Everybody in the party, even those who contested, who lost primaries, came together to support the flag bearer. We are closing ranks. We have our own challenges, but we're dealing with them quietly. But Mr. Obi should deal with the mess in his Labour Party quietly. Atiku Abubakar and the rest of them in the PDP should deal with their own mess, quietly, resolve their internal contradictions. And then hopefully emerge from this level of decay and almost utter irrelevance that they become. And by the way, I must make this last point, Sambo. Look, Mr. Obi and Atiku Abubakar and everyone else with them are concerned that given this president's robust economic plan and transformation of our country, they are concerned that if this program is allowed to go the full term, they know that Nigerians in 2027 will massively elect this president to govern again. Because, and by the way, from even their failure to organize themselves internally, how does any Nigerian even begin to believe that people who cannot manage their own internal affairs can govern Nigeria better than this visionary president that we have, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
All right, just before...
Not possible. So that's the concern.
All right, just before I let you go, in 30 seconds to 60 seconds, I want you to talk to Nigerians. Should they be optimistic about 2025 under the APC-led federal government led by President Tinubu? What should drive that optimism, if indeed you are optimistic yourself?
When the president had the media chat, he said something that some people completely misunderstood. He said, look, I have no regrets for these bold policies I've initiated. People heard that to mean, some level of cockiness or arrogance on the part of the president. But it's not. That was a statement of conviction of a man who is president today, who is simply saying to Nigerians, I know, I believe, I have faith that these efforts will create for us a new Nigeria. We transform the fundamental basis of our country. That is a man who is convinced. And Nigerians should simply, give him that benefit of the doubt. And the results are showing already. So when you match conviction with results, which now, at the beginning of the year, is already showing positive signs, I know that this will get better. It can only get better. So my word to Nigerians is that, my dear compatriots, stand fast, support this president. He is committed. He is not about 2027. He has said so. Whether, 2027 comes or doesn't come, this president has a mandate today, and he's justifying that mandate. And I think that Nigerians should take a chance with this president and see our country, this country we love dearly, take a turn for the not for the better, for the best, actually.
Beautiful people, hey, welcome back. You have heard what Mr. Felix Omoka has just vomited. Yes, APC. Yes, I know. What is this man? The APC spokesman, a bespoke person. Yes. So definitely he will not come and sit down here and say Tinubu is not doing anything. This man has said a lot of things, my beautiful people. I just want to quote some of the things this man has just said, and some of the things Peter Obi said. I just want you are the viewers here. You are the people watching this video. You have heard what this man just said. I just want you guys to just be sincerely true. And first of all, let's not just correct this man for one thing. For him saying that Peter Obi did not win 2023 election. My beautiful people, what do you people have to say in that place? Please drop your comment or drop your thought in the comment section. Did Peter Obi really won that presidential election, or is Tinubu that win it? Or what happened? I just want you guys to explain what you feel in that 2023. Just be sincerely speak your mind. And secondly too, I just want you guys, what Peter Obi said. Number one, Peter Obi did not tell Tinubu not to travel. He did not say Tinubu don't travel. Peter Obi only said that Tinubu should reduce his traveling abroad because it costs a lot of money. People are dying of hunger. People are dying of hunger in Nigeria. Why he is busy traveling from one country to another. Although his subject said he is going to bring investment. My beautiful people, how many investment has Tinubu brought to Nigeria for the past 19 months? But his person is telling us, his subject is telling us that if Tinubu don't travel abroad, how will he bring investment? Tinubu has traveled for 32 times to abroad for self-investment. How many investment has established in Nigeria that they say is Tinubu that brought that investment? And Mr. Peter Obi, I'm just speaking from the point Peter Obi said, and Mr. Peter Obi still said that Tinubu should be traveling with public transport so that he will experience what the common people, what the people that put him there, according to them, that they put him there to rule, to see, to help Nigeria. So Peter Obi is telling Tinubu now, you travel on the road, use public transport, travel so that you will feel what other people are feeling. Yes. Pause. Yes. Because for me, I did not see anything wrong what Peter Obi said, that this man is calling him prophet of doom. Prophet of doom. Okay, doom or the doom. Prophet of doom. Okay. Peter Obi only said that when you people sit down here to start to say, I will do this, I will reduce the let's see, and Mr. MORKA here is telling us that that his master is doing his best. Mr. MORKA here is telling us that since Tinubu entered this as a president, that the country is bouncing back. That before Tinubu entered as a president, Nigeria was totally finished. But my question is that I always ask this question. Buhari was there. According to Tinubu said he is the one that fixed Buhari there, which means he is the one that has been running Nigeria affair even when Buhari was still in government, or even when Buhari was still as a president. So why didn't he advise Buhari to do better? Is it not the same APC? Are they not the same people that were still ruling? Now they are telling us that Buhari is another person, Tinubu is another person, but they are APC that has been ruling the country for past how many years? Buhari ruled for 8 years. Tinubu now is ruling for 18 months. Total, how many years is that? Almost 9 plus. So APC has been ruling. And we are coming from fry pan to fire. People are even saying that, oh, when Buhari was there, it was better than now. They are using it as film, as skit. They have been using it to add, So this Mr. MORKA now is sitting down. Although I will not blame him, because you know that he cannot come here and say something that is not right. And he said, since Tinubu entered, that the security is top notch. Security is top notch, and the agriculture is the farmers. According to him, he said even in his state, Delta State, the farmers are present. They are telling him to tell Mr. President, thank you very much. But my own is that how many farmers, my people, I don't know. Please drop in the comment section everything this man just said. How many farmers has come out to say our crops are doing well, our every security is doing very, very well? We saw this Christmas, because of security, the way airport was full because people are afraid to go through road. But this man is telling us that the security is top notch now. Everything is going well. In the media chat Tinubu did, he made a statement that when he was doing his campaign, he has to pause and went to visit, to pay condolence visit to people that they lost their family in either bandit or this. Okay, oh, my beautiful people, this talk is too much. What did you people think in this comment section? He even make a statement that even the newspaper, one of the newspaper came out to write that Tinubu is the man of the year. Okay, oh, is the man of the year. Tinubu is the man of the year. So, my beautiful people, does it mean newspaper cannot talk like? Newspaper is not news or media houses that will come and tell us who is the man of the year or not the man of the year. It's the masses, it's Nigeria that will come and say, oh, Tinubu is the best. Tinubu has done all this thing. Me, I have not seen anything. This man is just telling us that Tinubu has done that. Tinubu has done this. Tinubu has done that. Oh, anybody that talk, they will insult the person. Anybody that come out to speak the truth, they will insult the people. I don't really know what Tinubu has done. What has Tinubu did? Is it the inflation? People are dying of hunger in the street. Is it the inflation that is so right? Is it the flooding of the naira? Dollar now is 1,700, 1,600. More things, fuel. You cannot get fuel. You cannot even buy fuel to fuel your generator or to even fuel your car. There is nothing. I don't see what this man is doing. Now he's telling us that they have been building a lot of refinery in every part of Nigeria. Is it Port Harcourt refinery? Is it not refinery? Is it Abuja refinery? Is it what is it called? What is it called? Kaduna refinery. All these things, this man has been talking. But my beautiful people, I just want people to comment in the comment section. If at all something like that is happening, please let me know, And another thing again, Mr. Samuel of Arise TV asked him that why, when Peter Obi went to visit this IDP camp, he came out and he said, if you see what is happening there, that he was shedding tears. So the man said, it doesn't mean that when Tinubu did not go to visit that IDP camp, he will not go. So when will Tinubu go and visit? Is it when all of them have died before Tinubu will go there and visit? But remember, when he was doing his campaign, he has to pause his campaign. And according to him, that he has to pause his campaign and go to visit people that the family that lost their family. So why can't he pause whatever he's doing to go to this IDP camp, to go and visit people, to go and console people. See, all these things we have been talking, and now is because of Obasanjo came out to say the way people are doing, the way people are ruling this country is not fair. So now this man is blasting Obasanjo. Obasanjo should look himself in the mirror and know he has the opportunity. He talk all kind of things. His mouth is so sharp that he cannot even. Anyway, I don't have any problem with the man because Nigerians, I can normal as I normally said, you cannot come out and not to support your principal or blast your principal. It's normal. So anyway, my beautiful people, what do you guys think about this video? What Mr. Felix or MORKA just said. Felix MORKA just said. He said everything is good. If everything is good in Nigeria, please, so people should drop in the comment section. Let's hear. Maybe I'm the one that is not following the Nigerian news, how things have been doing good. Because what I know, every day people will come, things are so expensive, we cannot buy anything. That's the only thing I hear. Does it mean they are deceiving me or what? Anyway, drop your thought in the comment section. If you have watched this video to this time, thank you very much. For my subscribers, I really appreciate every one of you. For my returning, thank you. Please, if you have been watching and you have not yet subscribed, do me well to subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.